68 teams, one dream, cut down the nets on Monday night, April 2nd, at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. It's March. It's March Madness. Hello, friends, and welcome to our seventh annual Strictly Sports Selection Sunday special. I am Anthony Flair, joined by my partners in crime, as always, good old MF Michael Fletcher. We got Michael Bullock here as well. Normally, we would be doing our WWE Fastlane pay-per-view recap since we had the Fastlane pay-per-view tonight. Holy for jeepers, what a show that was. We'll get into that. Hopefully, we'll get into that Tuesday night. Hopefully, Mother Nature doesn't wreak havoc on that. But nonetheless, per our Imperial Grand Poobah, Derek Ferreira, he decreed that Selection Sunday was the bigger priority. I could not agree more. So it's the Selection Sunday tonight. Fastlane, for now, scheduled for Tuesday. But, we'll see what happens, weather pending. But without any further ado, gentlemen, well, we lost MF for a moment. Hopefully he'll be back in a moment. It's time. You know what we're going to do. If you haven't been with us the last few years that we've been doing this show, we are going to run down the matchups, briefly run down the matchups, and give quick rapid fire picks on that. And then we'll tell you who we think is going to go to the Final Four, and then we will ultimately decide who we think will ultimately cut down the nets on Monday night, April the 2nd, at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. So, without any further ado, let's dive on in, and we're gonna break it all down. We're gonna start in the South region. South region, which features the number one overall seed, and to the surprise of no one, your number one overall seed is the ACC tournament champion, Virginia Cavaliers. They are your number one overall seed, rightfully so. And they're going to be squaring off against number 16 seed UMBC, which is the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. They won the America East tournament. Interesting 8-9 matchup here. Creighton out of the Big East, squaring off against number 9 seed Kansas State out of the Big 12. Number 5 seed, the Kentucky Wildcats, the champions of the SEC tournament. They knocked off Tennessee earlier this afternoon. And this has the potential for a 12-5 upset. They're going to be squaring off against the Atlantic 10 tournament champions, Davidson, who knocked off URI today. Number 4 seed, the Arizona Wildcats. Shout out to my good friend Josh Avery, my young friend from my church. He messaged me last night saying he's a big Arizona fan, and he was very happy that his team won the Pac-12 tournament. And they're going to be squaring off against the number 13 seed, Buffalo, out of the MAC. Number 6 seed, the Miami Hurricanes, coached by Jim Larinaga. You remember he took George Mason to the Final Four back in 2006, representing the ACC at-large bid. They're going to be squaring off against Loyola of Chicago, the number 11 seed, making their first NCAA tournament appearance since all the way back in 1985. The number 3 seed, the Tennessee Volunteers, the runners-up in the SEC tournament against Kentucky, and they're going to be going up against number 14 seed, the Wright State Raiders, out of the Horizon League. First tournament appearance for them since 2007. Number 7 seed, the Nevada Wolfpack. They're going to be squaring off against the number 10 seed, Texas Longhorns, out of the Big 12. And the number 2 seed in the South, really could have made an argument for this team to be number 1, the Cincinnati Bearcats, the winners of the American Athletic Conference tournament today. They knocked off Houston in another exciting game. And they're going to go up against number 15 seed, the Panthers of Georgia State. So what we're going to do here, just going to run down, the opening matchups here. Virginia and UMBC. Yeah, we all know how this is going to play out. Virginia should have no trouble whatsoever. Creighton and Kansas State, this is a tough one to call. This could go either way, really can. But I know a lot of people are going to say I'm being Big East biased here, but no. I just think Creighton's the better team. I think Creighton will knock off Kansas State. I mean, Creighton had a strong showing. Well, they did lose to PC in the Big East tournament. Kansas State had a solid showing in the Big 12, but I just think Creighton's the better team. This has the potential for a 12-5 upset here. I mean, Davidson coming out of nowhere to win the A10, knocking off URI. That's an upset in itself. But Kentucky, I mean, with them winning the SEC tournament, this is so tough. I mean, I want to call 12-5 upset here, but someone tells me Kentucky is going to find a way to win. Arizona against Buffalo, I got to go with Arizona. I mean, with the way they came out of the Pac-12, I think they're the better team here. And it would set up an intriguing dream matchup, a Michael Fletcher-style dream matchup, a game that I know if he were calling it, we'd have to get the powder blue blazer out for it. No doubt about it, because that's an MF special. The number 6, we got the Miami Hurricanes against Loyola Chicago. Hey, Loyola Chicago, congratulations. First tournament appearance in 33 years. That's awesome. But you got to go with the U. The U, far better. Tennessee against Wright State. I'll be honest, I could see a potential upset here. I could. But Tennessee, they have been, they came out of nowhere. I didn't think they were going to amount to anything this year, but I got to go with Tennessee. I just think they're the better team in this one. Nevada against Texas. Tough to call, but my gut's telling me to go with Nevada here. I think Nevada is the better team here. And then finally, Cincinnati against Georgia State. I'm going with Cincinnati. I got to be honest here. They should have been a number 1 seed, in my opinion, considering that they won the American Athletic Conference tournament and certain other teams didn't fare well in their conference tournaments. I think Cincinnati should have been a 1. I'm just saying. But, that committee, we all know how tough as nails they are, which was chairmaned by the athletic director of Creighton, Bruce Rasmussen. So, but nonetheless, I've got Virginia against Creighton, a Michael Fletcher special, Kentucky against Arizona, the U against Tennessee, and Nevada against Cincinnati. So we're just gonna, we'll just park it there for now. So nothing more to say on that for the moment. So I'm gonna bring in good old MF Michael Fletcher. MF, I mean, you're seeing this for the first time. You're seeing it. This is the South region. I know you're very happy. Virginia representing the ACC, number 1 overall seed, odds-on favorite to, win it all here, I think. So looking at the first round matchups, MF in the South with Virginia and company all the way down. I mean, potential Kentucky-Arizona matchup. That's an MF special.
It would be an MS special, and I do agree with it. But let me tell you, Davidson is a scary team. That is definitely, this bracket is not easy to get out. I mean, yes, Virginia is the number 1 overall, but my God, man, they got Kentucky, they got Arizona, Miami, Tennessee, and Tennessee had a really good run this season. Cincinnati, who is one of the dark horses in this one too. So this is a really rough bracket. I mean, you would think that normally you would say, wow, this looks pretty difficult to get out of. I mean, I'm gonna say that definitely nothing more than say, yes, I got Virginia winning. I got Creighton knocking off K-State. I do have the matchup that you talk about, Arizona, Kentucky. I do got it. I got Miami winning. I got Tennessee winning. I actually got Texas knocking off Nevada. That's the only kind of, I went against the chalk there. But I do got Cincinnati advancing.
All right, so I guess it's my turn. So, yeah, so basically, I got Virginia winning that first the that first round match. Yeah, no problem. And then I got Creighton over Kansas State here. You know what? You mentioned about how Davidson is a scary team. You know what? I'm actually going to pull the trigger. I'm going to call for the upset. Davidson over Kentucky. I mean, not many people gave Davidson a chance against URI, and look what happened. So I think they can do it here. Arizona and Buffalo, no doubt. I got Arizona winning it. Uh, I got Miami beating Loyola Chicago. I got Tennessee beating Wright State. And I'm going to go with Fletch in this one. I got Texas beating Nevada. And then as far as Cincinnati and Georgia State, oh, yeah, it's Cincinnati all the way. So there's nothing more to say. So let's move on to the next region.
And before we do, I do apologize. I forgot to mention the locations. Virginia, UMBC, Creighton, Kansas State. Those are going to be Friday, Sunday games in Charlotte, North Carolina. The Kentucky Davidson, Arizona Buffalo. Those are Thursday, Saturday matchups in Boise, Idaho. The U against Loyola Chicago and Tennessee Wright State. Those are Thursday, Saturday games in Dallas. And the Nevada, Texas, Cincinnati, Georgia State games are Friday, Sunday games in Nashville. The Virginia UMBC game will be at 9:20 on Friday night on TNT. Creighton, Kansas State at 6:50 on TNT. Kentucky and Davidson 7:10 on CBS Thursday. Arizona Buffalo 9:40 on CBS. Miami and Loyola Chicago 3:10 on True TV. Tennessee Wright State 12:40 on True TV. Nevada and Texas 4:30 on TBS. And Cincinnati and Georgia State 2:00 on TBS. Those are Friday times, and the Miami, Loyola, Tennessee Wright State, those are Thursday times. So just wanted to get that out of the system there. So with that being said, let's move on now to the East region. And we're going to start it off with the number 1 seed in that bracket, the number 2 overall seed, if you will. The Villanova Wildcats, representing the Big East. Jay Wright and company, winning the Big East Championship in thrilling fashion. An exciting final against PC the Saturday night. What a game that was. It'll be in Pittsburgh Thursday evening, 6:50 on TNT. And they're going to go up against a play-in winner for the 16 seed, either LIU Brooklyn or Radford. Intriguing 8-9 matchup at 9:20 Thursday night on TNT in Pittsburgh. Number 8 seed, the Virginia Tech Hokies out of the ACC. They're going to square off against the number 9 seed, Alabama Crimson Tide out of the SEC. Roll Tide, Jason Hixenbaugh. I know he's got to be happy. First tournament appearance for them in 6 years. 2012, the last time they were in it. Another dangerous 5-12 matchup here. The number 5 seed, the West Virginia Mountaineers, against the number 12 seed, Murray State Racers. West Virginia, the runner-up in the Big 12. Murray State winning their conference tournament. They're going to be playing at 4 o'clock Friday on TNT in San Diego. Number 4 seed, the Wichita State Shockers, coached by Greg Marshall. And he's going to be facing his last namesake, the Thundering Herd of Marshall, as the number 13 seed. Friday afternoon, 1:30 on TNT. Next set will be Thursday, Saturday games in Dallas, Texas. The San Diego games are Friday, Sunday, and the Pittsburgh games are Thursday, Saturday, by the way. Thursday, Saturday games in Dallas, Texas. Number 6 seed, Florida Gators out of the SEC. And they're gonna go up against a play-in winner as well for the 11th seed. Either the Bonnies of St. Bonaventure out of the A10 or the UCLA Bruins out of the Pac-12. That'll be Thursday night, 9:57 on True TV. The number 3 seed, the Texas Tech Red Raiders out of the Big 12. They're going to go up against the Lumberjacks of Stephen F. Austin, number 14 seed, 7:27 on True TV. And then at the bottom half, Friday, Sunday games at the Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. The number 7 seed, hey, State of Sorrel, go nuts, baby girl. You made it. You're a Woo Pig, Arkansas Razorbacks, number 7 out of the SEC. But they're gonna be tested big time. Number 10 seed, the Butler Bulldogs out of the Big East. 3:10 True TV Friday afternoon. And then the number 2 seed in the East. How about this? The Purdue Boilermakers out of the Big Ten, coached by Matt Painter. They're going to be scoring off against Cal State Fullerton, the number 15 seed, 12:40 Friday afternoon, True TV. Get it, got it, good. That's all I can say on that. So I know MF's been in and out, but I am hopeful that MF can get his picks in lickety split. So MF looking at the East, I mean, oh, what a region for Nova.
What a region for Nova. Are you kidding me? What was the committee thinking? This has to be the most easiest bracket I've ever seen for a number 1 seed. You know what? I'm going to do something I never done before. Screw this East bracket. Just put Villanova's name right now in the Final Four. Forget about all the other games and forget about all the other matches. Just put Nova's name down on the Final Four line. Done. Bullet, go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the committee was thinking here, putting the Villanova in this region. And you know what? I'm gonna agree with Fletch. I mean, I say just put Villanova in the Final Four. I don't care. Screw the other games. Florio, go.
All right, somebody has to get into the games here. I may as well do it. So I think the only way I'll get to see your guys' picks is in the bracket manager. It's probably the only way I'll get to see your picks, and we'll all get to see your picks. But nonetheless, yes, Villanova over the play-in winner, whether it's Long Island, Brooklyn, or Radford. I like Alabama over Virginia Tech, mainly because of Colin Sexton. If you haven't seen that young man, he is a beast. That's all I can say there. 5-12, West Virginia, Murray State. This has potential for an upset. It really does. But I've been very impressed with West Virginia. I mean, they went to the Big 12 tournament final, just came up short against Kansas the other night in Kansas City. So I'm going with West Virginia there. Wichita State and Marshall. I got to go Wichita State. I think they're the better team in that one. Florida against either St. Bonaventure or UCLA. I'm actually going to call for the upset here. I'm going to say whoever comes out of that St. Bonaventure UCLA game, I think either one of them has what it takes to beat Florida. That's all I can say there. Texas Tech against Stephen F. Austin. I got to go Texas Tech in that one. Arkansas and Butler. That's tough to call. I mean, I want to go with the Big East pick here. I do. But Arkansas, they showed me something in the SEC tournament. And it's also because, the love affair that I've had with State of Sorrel for how long now? So, love you, darling. And then Purdue and CS and Cal State Fullerton. Got to go Purdue in that one. So, I know these two guys won't go into any further detail in the East, but I'll get into my further detail later. So, Midwest bracket time. And we're going to start it off with the number 1 seed in that bracket, which is, stop me if this sounds familiar, the Kansas Jayhawks. They are the number 1 seed in the Midwest bracket. And these games will be in Wichita, Kansas on Thursday, Saturday. Kansas is the number 1 seed. The Big 12 tournament champions. 2 o'clock on TBS Thursday afternoon. They're going to be squaring off against the number 16 seed Pennsylvania Quakers, the champions of the Ivy League. MF, we got a Big East ACC matchup in the 8-9, and I think this might be the most intriguing of the 8-9 matchups. Number 8 seed Seton Hall Pirates out of the Big East, squaring off against the 9-seeded NC State Wolfpack, 4:30 TBS on Thursday. These next games will be Friday, Sunday games in San Diego. Number 5 seed, another ACC representative, the Clemson Tigers, and they're going to be squaring off against the number 12 seed New Mexico State. 9:57 True TV, and then the number 4 seed, speaking of alma maters, Lindsay McCormick. Happy birthday, darling. It's her birthday today. And what a present she got. Her Auburn Tigers are the number 4 seed in the Midwest bracket, and they're going to be squaring off against Charleston, 7:27 True TV, Friday. Next set of games will be Friday, Sunday games at Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. The number 6 seed, the TCU Horned Frogs, coached by former Pittsburgh head coach Jamie Dixon. They're going to be squaring off against a play-in winner, either the Arizona State Sun Devils out of the Pac-12 or the Syracuse Orange out of the ACC. 9:40 CBS Friday night. And then the number 3 seed, the Michigan State Spartans, tournament tested. Tom Izzo, that whole thing. 21 consecutive tournament appearances for them. But they're going to be tested against a proven Cinderella in the past, the Bison of Bucknell. the number 14 seed, 7:10 CBS. And then finally, the Thursday, Saturday games in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The number 7 seed, your University of Rhode Island Rams, out of the Atlantic 10. We got ourselves a little local buddy bowl here. Our state, Rhode Island, me, MF, and Bullock, they're going to be squaring off against formerly Woodson territory, Didi and Kevin Woodson, the number 10 seed, Boomer Sooner, the Oklahoma Sooners. Maybe the most intriguing of the 7-10 matchups. URI and Oklahoma, 12:15 on CBS Thursday. And then rounding out the Midwest, the number 2 seed, the Duke Blue Devils out of the ACC, Coach K. All the history with them. They're going to be squaring off against the Gales of Iona out of the NAAC, 2:45 on CBS. So there's your Midwest bracket. Michael Bullock, we started off with you here. Wow, what a bracket we got here. This is a loaded one here.
All right, well, first off, I got Kansas beating Penn. No problem with that one. As far as the Seton Hall NC State game goes, to me, that's a tough one, but I got to go with NC State in this one. But Clemson and New Mexico State, I got to go with Clemson in this one. Auburn and Charleston, I got Auburn winning this one. I mean, TCU against the winner of that play-in game, I got to go with TCU. Michigan State and Bucknell, got to go with Michigan State. Now, URI in Oklahoma, to me, I got to go with URI, but before I get into the first I got to say the last game, Duke and Iona, I got the Dukies winning this one. Now, Florio, before we move on, there's something I got to get off my chest. And it's about the team that URI is playing. Oklahoma. Now, to me, I don't know how you guys are going to feel about it, but Oklahoma, to me, they don't deserve to be in the NCAA tournament.
I agree.
I mean, you're telling me a team that did not win a single road game in 2018. I mean, a team that finished the season on a losing streak, and you put this team over a team like Oklahoma State, which, in my honest opinion, should have gotten in. No, I got a problem with it, and the committee got this one way wrong. I mean, I am not going to stand for this. I mean, the committee should be ashamed of themselves for putting a team like Oklahoma, who doesn't even deserve to be in there. It is totally unfair. It's totally, it's a total miscarriage of justice as far as I'm concerned. What has Oklahoma done to prove that they belong in the NCAA tournament? Not a damn thing. I'm done. Florio, go. Please, before I really frickin' explode.
Okay, tell me how you really feel. But, all right. I agree. I got Kansas over Penn. Disagree with the 8-9 matchup. I like Seton Hall in that one. I mean, they had a strong showing in the Big East tournament. Clemson and New Mexico State. I think this is where the 12-5 upset finally comes into play here. I'm going with New Mexico State. I mean, a school record, 28 wins. There's just something about them that I think they can overmatch. I think they have what it takes to beat Clemson. Auburn and Charleston, I'm going with Auburn here. I mean, they proved something to me. They came out of nowhere. I didn't think they were going to do much of anything, but they surprised me this year. TCU against either Arizona State or Syracuse. That's got potential for an upset there. I think there is a potential there. But Jamie Dixon's got TCU playing so well, and I got to go TCU in that one. Michigan State against Bucknell. It's Michigan State. I mean, we know their history. This is usually the time they turn on the afterburners. URI in Oklahoma, no question about it. I'm going with URI in that one. And then the Dukies against Iona. It's the Dukies all the way. So setting up Kansas against Seton Hall, New Mexico State and Auburn, TCU, Michigan State, and a very intriguing URI and Duke matchup. Oh, that would be awesome if we get that. So that's how I feel about the Midwest. The first set of Midwest matchups. So MF, I mean, loaded bracket here.
This is this is scary. Man, if you're Kansas, you're pissed. You are absolutely furious with the committee because they got some heavyweights they got to deal with in this one. They'll easily beat Penn. I got nothing wrong with that. I disagree with you, Anthony. I'm actually with Michael Bullock on that. I got NC State knocking off Seton Hall. Clemson, I'm sorry. I don't think the 12-5 upset's coming. Not on this round. Not in this realm. I think that they got it. I do believe I would not be shocked if I see a 6-11. I think a 6-11 could happen. I definitely do believe that. Michigan State, I got them winning. Obviously, I got Rhode Island. And yes, I am with Michael Bullock on his rant that he went on Oklahoma. I don't know why Oklahoma got in. There's no absolute reason that this team should have gotten in. Major losing streak, 8-2 in the last 10 games.
And 11 of their last 15.
And loss of 11 of the last 15. There is no explanation whatsoever that Oklahoma even deserves to be in the tournament. For me personally, I was pulling for Middle Tennessee State. I cannot believe they did not get in. I was really upset about that more than anything else. Of course, I kind of was glancing at it a little bit because I had work commitments beyond my control. Because I had work commitments, so I kind of glanced at it. But then once my members of my 2184 crew told me how it went down, then I was able to dissect it, go a little more deeper into it. But that was absolutely ridiculous. And then obviously I got Duke winning over Iona. Even though Duke kind of did have a major letdown in the ACC tournament, but I think they're good enough they could win that. So, but man, URI and Duke in the second round. Oh my goodness. Oh man. You know what? I'm gonna say this. We're gonna get into the West in just a moment, but think about this. If both local teams move on, the next matchups could be against ACC powerhouses. Rhode Island with Duke. And we're going to get into the second one. And oh my, boy, am I going to have a lot to say if this next matchup happens in the West. Anthony, why don't you break down the West, and then I'll go into more detail after you go first.
Yes, I will be leading off on this. And the West region starts with Friday, Sunday games in Nashville, Tennessee. The number one seed in the West, the Xavier Musketeers out of the Big East. Awesome. 2 Big East teams, number one seeds. That's excellent. Very happy about that. They're going to be going up against the play-in winner, either North Carolina Central or Texas Southern, Friday night at 7:20. Another interesting 8-9 matchup here. The number 8 seed, the Missouri Tigers out of the SEC. They're going to be squaring off against the 9th seed, the Florida State Seminoles out of the ACC, 9:50 on TBS. Thursday, Saturday games in Boise, Idaho. The number 5 seed, the Ohio State University Buckeyes out of the Big Ten. And they're going to be going up against the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State, 4 o'clock on TNT Thursday. And then the number 4 seed, your national runners-up of a year ago, the Gonzaga Bulldogs, the champions of the West Coast Conference Tournament. Mark Few and company, 19 straight tournament appearances since the Cinderella run back in 99. They haven't missed the tournament since. They nearly won it all a year ago, but came up short against Carolina. They're going to be squaring off against UNC Greensboro, the number 13 seed, 1:30 on TNT. Thursday, Saturday games in Wichita, Kansas. The number 6 seed, the Houston Cougars out of the American Athletic Conference. They lost the final today to Cincinnati in a very exciting game. They're going to go up against the champions of the Mountain West tournament, the San Diego State Aztecs, as the number 11 seed, 7:20 on TBS Thursday night. The number 3 seed, the Michigan Wolverines, the champions of the Big Ten tournament. They're going to go up against the Grizzlies of Montana out of the Big Sky, number 14 seed, 9:50 TBS. Interesting 7-10 matchup here. The number 7 seed, the Texas A&M Aggies out of the SEC, and they're going to be squaring off against the number 10 seed, Providence Friars out of the Big East. I didn't think they were going to make it, but because of their very impressive outing in the Big East tournament, going all the way to the title game, they definitely deserve to be in there, no question about it. These are Friday, Sunday games in Charlotte, North Carolina, by the way. 12:15 on CBS. And then the number 2 seed in the West, the North Carolina Tar Heels, your reigning and defending undisputed national champions out of the ACC. Came up just short in the ACC final against Virginia the other night in Brooklyn. They're going to go up against a team making their first ever tournament appearance, Lipscomb. And that'll be at 2:45 on CBS. So that's how it stands there. So break it down. Obviously, Xavier will advance. Missouri, Florida State, very tough matchup here. But, man, this is tough. But I'm going to go with Florida State. Toss of the coin, if you will. Another potential 12-5 upset here, South Dakota State. I've heard a lot of great things about them. You know what? I'm going to call for the 12-5 upset. I mean, I didn't really see much out of Ohio State in the Big Ten tournament. They didn't really impress me much. South Dakota State has what it takes to upset them, I think. Gonzaga, UNC Greensboro, going with Gonzaga. Houston, San Diego State, very interesting matchup here. I mean, both teams really impressed me in their tournament. San Diego State winning the Mountain West. Houston taking Cincy to the limit in the American final. Tough one, but I'm going to take a chance, and I'm going to go with Houston in that one. Michigan against Montana, got to go Michigan. I got my eye on Michigan. That's all I can say. Michigan is one of my dark horses in this tournament. Texas A&M against Providence, no doubt about it. I got Providence here, especially after that incredible outing in the Big East tournament. They impressed me. They far surpassed my expectations. I thought they were going to be one and done against Creighton. I thought they were destined for the NIT, but man, I cannot believe they not only went to the final but nearly won it. But Nova just got hot at the right time. And then Carolina against Lipscomb, it's Carolina. And if it goes down like this, a PC North Carolina matchup in round 2. Ah, my goodness. So I got Xavier, Florida State, South Dakota State, Gonzaga, Houston, Michigan, and of course, PC, North Carolina, a true Big East ACC matchup. Let's get it on. That's soldier up, knuckle up time right there. So nothing more to say here. MF, whoa.
The bracket on the West, oh my God. I mean, again, the committee, I'm going to say it, when you see the other 3 brackets compared to the one in the East, it's so balanced. It's beautifully constructed. And that's why I couldn't figure out what on earth that East region was looking like. But I'm going to say this. This West bracket is going to be unbelievable. I mean, Xavier, there was a lot of debate about, was Xavier deserving of that 4th and number 1 seed? Obviously, the committee weighed all the options, and they did not penalize Xavier for losing the PC in the Big East semifinal. Obviously, they did not punish him for that, and they gave them the number 1 seed, the final number 1 seed, and the number 4 overall in the tournament. Now, what's very telling to me was that, is it possible that if North Carolina
Matt, are you there? Well, he's been in and out quite a few times here.
Yeah, he's been having a problem.
Yeah, we can't hear him. So, Bullock, while we wait for MF to get back up and running here, why don't you take the West for a spin?
Yeah, I'll take it for a spin here. Yeah, I got Xavier winning their game, no problem. Missouri and Florida State, that's intriguing. I mean, especially with the health for Missouri of one of their best players. So, but to me, I got Florida State winning. Ohio State, South Dakota. I got the Buckeyes winning this one. Gonzaga and UNC Greensboro. I got the Zags winning this one. Houston, San Diego State. I got Houston winning it. Michigan and Montana, definitely no problem for Michigan here. Texas A&M and Providence, that's going to be an intriguing matchup. But I actually got Providence winning as well. I mean, especially with their run in the Big East tournament, getting to the Big East final, only to lose to the eventual champion Villanova. But I mean, I just love what Ed Cooley has done with this team. And yeah, no doubt I got UNC over Lipscomb. So there's really nothing more to say. So I guess we should just move on to the next region.
Yeah, so what we're going to do now, what we're going to do here is we're going to go back up to the South bracket, pick up where we left off in the South. Bullock, we'll start it off with you here. Go down the rest of the South. Who's going to represent the South in the Final Four?
Who would I have representing the South in the Final Four?
Yeah.
All right. Hold on a minute. I gotta pull up my bracket back up. Give me just a moment here.
Or if you just want to take it up to or if you want, you can just take it up to the regional final.
Oh, hold on. Hold on. I'm just about there. Yeah. As far as who I got for the South, representing in the Final Four. Man, that's me. That's tough, but to me, I gotta go with Virginia to represent the South in the Final Four. I mean, I just think Virginia to me is really impressive as far as I'm concerned. And I already said I got Villanova going to the representing in the Final Four. Now, as far as the other regions, man, it's gotta go between Kansas and Duke. I mean, it's hard to go against either one of them. I'm gonna take my chances, and I'm gonna go with Kansas. And then who I got from the East side? I'm actually gonna go with the
You said Villanova out of the East.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I meant the West. The West. I gotta go with the Tar Heels in this one. I mean, as much as I want to go with Xavier, I just don't feel like they got what it takes to. And plus, you got Roy Williams. You can never go against Roy Williams.
Oh, indeed not.
And so I got to go with the Tar Heels to represent the West in the Final Four. So that's my Final Four team.
So you've got Virginia, Villanova, North Carolina, and is it Kansas or Duke, Bullock?
I said Kansas.
Kansas, okay. So I'll take it back for a spin here. In the South, I got Virginia beating Creighton, Kentucky and Arizona. That's very tough to call. It really is. But I got to go with Kentucky. based on what they did in the SEC tournament. Both teams were impressive, but I think Kentucky's the better team. The U against Tennessee, that's a tough one, but I got to go Tennessee there. I definitely like Cincinnati over Nevada, no question there. In the East, I got Nova over Alabama. Well, actually, let me go back to the South. Go back there in just a moment. Virginia over Kentucky, no question about that. Cincinnati over Tennessee, giving me Cincinnati against Virginia, which would be one hell of a matchup if it gets to it. But Virginia, as great as Cincinnati has been, Virginia has just been so damn good. I got to go with Virginia to represent the South in the Final Four. Nova over Alabama, going to the East. I like Wichita State over West Virginia. Texas Tech over the play-in winner. Arkansas and Purdue, that's got potential for an upset, but I just think Purdue's the better team in that one. Nova over Wichita State. T-Tech and Purdue. I'm gonna take a chance to go with Texas Tech because of their star player Keenan Evans, and then Nova and Texas Tech. Yeah, it's Nova, no doubt about that. Nova will represent the East. In the Midwest, Kansas over Seton Hall. I'm going to take a chance on New Mexico State. I think this team has what it takes to be that Cinderella Sweet 16 team. Michigan State over TCU. Sorry, Rhodey. I got to go with Duke over URI. But then I think this is where New Mexico State's Cinderella run ends. Kansas will win there. Setting up a Michigan State-Duke dream matchup for MF. But I got to go with the Dukies in that one. And then Kansas and Duke. That's going to be hella fun if we get it. But I got to go with the Dukies. There's just something about the Dukies, especially Grayson Allen. I mean, we know how fun that young man is to watch. So I'm going to go with the Dukies to represent the Midwest. And then in the West, Xavier over Florida State. Gonzaga over South Dakota State. Michigan over Houston. Pains me to do it, but I got to go with Carolina over PC as much as I want to see PC go on one of those surprise runs like they did back in '97. Xavier against Gonzaga. Got to go with Xavier in that one. Michigan and Carolina. I mean, I know Carolina. It should be Carolina, but I got to go with Michigan. I just think Michigan, especially after that impressive run in the Big Ten tournament, winning it all, I think Michigan has what it takes to upset Carolina. And then it sets up Xavier against Michigan. I got to go with Xavier. I just think Xavier is too good. So there you have it. My Final Four consists of 2 ACC versus Big East matchups, Virginia and Xavier, Villanova against Duke. That's my Final Four, no question about it. So now, who do I ultimately think wins it all? Virginia and Xavier. I love Xavier. I have been so impressed with them. I mean, they've been so fun to watch this year, but I got to go with Virginia. Virginia is just too damn good. And Villanova against Duke, very tough to call. I mean, Grayson Allen is a beast. He's a savage, no doubt about it. But at the end of the day, I just think Villanova is the better team. So I've got Virginia against Villanova in the national championship. And as much as I would love to see Villanova win it all for the second time in 3 years and bring it back to the Big East, I think the team that will ultimately cut down the nets on April 2nd will be the Virginia Cavaliers in what should be one of the great title games of all time. I don't know if it's going to be any better than that classic we had 2 years ago with Nova and Carolina, but I think ultimately Virginia and Tony Bennett will find a way to get it done. I'm going with the Virginia Cavaliers to win the 2018 National Championship, and they will cut down the nets in San Antonio on April 2nd. All right, Bullock, who do you think is cutting down the nets at the Alamo Dome on April 2nd?
I gotta go with you, Florio. I gotta go with Virginia. I just think they're just too damn good. Don't get me wrong. I like Villanova because they basically have been there and done that. But the thing is, like we just mentioned, Virginia's just too good, and you just simply can't go against them. So, yeah, I gotta go with Virginia to be cutting down the nets and to be your new national champions. Nothing more to say. I say we just put a wrap on this.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna have no choice but to put a bow on this. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know. I don't know what happened with Fletch. I guess he's just decided to call it a night.
Yeah, because he's been in and out several times here. I've seen a lot of activity on his end on the chat box.
Yeah, I think after the latest one, he just probably said, "Screw it."
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. So, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna message him right now and
Yeah, let's just wait and see what happens.
Okay, just bear with me for a minute. Just all right. So I've messaged MF. I'm gonna see if he'll answer us and make sure we know who he ultimately has cutting down the nets in San Antonio. So so yeah, we will put a bow on this. 7th annual Strictly Sports Selection Sunday special. We definitely want to thank you all so very much for tuning in. Hopefully, we helped you fill out your brackets in some way, and tell us who do you think ultimately will cut down the nets and go to the Final Four and all that. And do you agree with our picks? Do you disagree? What have you? And can also announce that my Strictly Sports Selection Sunday bracket manager group is up and running. So if you want to join us, feel free. Um, hopefully, I'll get these guys in there. I sent them the invites earlier through email, so hopefully they got it. And may the best man win. That's all I can say on that. So yeah, I don't know if we're gonna hear from MF on this. So we're gonna wrap it up here. So tomorrow night we got Ridiculously Raw right back here, and we'll run down Monday Night Raw as we are now officially on the road to WrestleMania. It's gonna be very interesting. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar face to face from the Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan, on the USA Network, and then Tuesday night a very special edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk, where we're going to recap both the Fastlane pay-per-view and SmackDown Live. And then from there, Friday night, we got Strictly Sports. NHL Power Rankings, I know that for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if Derek has us, get into some NCAA tournament action. So maybe there'll be some live commentary. You don't know. We'll see. Hopefully there will be. So that's pretty much it. So yeah, we're just gonna put a bow on this. So until tomorrow night for Ridiculously Raw, it's Anthony Florio here for Michael Bullock and in spirit, good old MF Michael Fletcher, Didi Woodson, Derek Ferreira. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed Monday. And until tomorrow night for Ridiculously Raw, you'll be watching the 7th annual Strictly Sports Selection Sunday special right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube.com. For everybody who's been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio. So long.